where we left off actually was the octopi that Fergus was on, the octopus, I should say, that Fergus is on. It was an enemy up until just the very last moments of the last session, where it basically broke free from its captor over here and swam over to let Fergus get on its back. And you can tell that these octopi want to be free of their Triton oppressors. You've noticed the Triton have these basically taser tridents and spears that they're using to like shock the octopi and hurt them into submission. And you guys are much more gentle and are trying to free them now from their oppressors. There are only a few Triton that are left. You've got one that's wrapped up in Leon's tentacle here. You've got one here, one behind this octopus here, and one that's underneath the ship here. Moonsy's character is also a shark right now. She's shapeshifted into a shark. And I think those are all the important things to remember. Shisa, you're on the octopus with Leon. And I think, is anybody, I should mention, is anybody in like red health, like danger zone? Is anybody hurt?
I'm half HP. I think I'm the lowest.
Leon, I didn't mark it, I don't think, on your sheet. But you ended up taking like 17 damage or something like that. So you can mark that on your character sheet.
Yo, I'm on death's door.
What does that leave you at? Maybe I did mark it.
That leaves me at 7.
I think I did mark it then. I must have marked it.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Worm.
All right. Let's see here. And I think we're ready to go. Any questions about any of that? All right. Then let's get her rolling. What you know about rolling down in the deep? All right. Do this. 3, 2, 1. So, where we are at is I need everyone to reroll initiative because I don't remember your initiatives. I am going to let you guys go first, though. So no matter what you roll, you guys are going to go first. I'm just going to see what order you guys are going to do your turns in. So go ahead and roll initiatives.
Yep.
I'll roll for the baddies here.
I always lose
I'm
track
really
of an
sorry
order.
about the people that are driving past. People have been driving past really loud all day, and it's pissing me off.
I don't hear him.
Oh, okay, good. It's like every 2 minutes, someone with an unsilenced engine drives past, and I literally, ugh. Anyway.
No worries. All right. Shisa, you are up first here in the second phase of this. Well, it's more like the fourth phase of 4 of this battle. You guys are pretty close to finish with it.
Okay. Let's see. I think perhaps I'm going to... I'm sorry, I'm just pretending to be serious and it didn't work.
Mr. Meeseeks.
I think I'm a thunderclap this bitch up
Which
over
one?
here. This guy, I'm a run up.
All right. Lean over the back of the octopus. And you're going to thunderclap him. What's the DC of that spell? So when you click on it, it should tell me a DC number. Okay, it's DC 13 concept. You can do 6 thunder damage. He rolled a 6 plus his constitution, which is 1. So he rolled a 7, so he fails. So he's going to take 6 thunder damage. Blow! And as you do that, the waves ripple around him as he kind of flips backward in the water, kind of like doing a backflip in the water, like you just hit him with a force blast. And he kind of swims upward towards the surface, getting ready for his attack after you hit him. That's your action for your turn. Would you like to do anything else? Leon and Fergus, don't forget that you're inspired. So, I forgot to mention that.
Can I move again?
Yeah, you can move away from him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move like down to like the base where it's like safer, like where his tentacles are.
Okay. He would get an opportunity attack on you if you moved to that position.
Oh
Because you
no.
got
Is there
close enough to
anywhere
use your spell.
is there anywhere that I can move without him getting an opportunity attack, or just have to stay there?
You'd have to stay there for now.
Okay.
If you didn't want to get opportunity attacked. But it's not
Yeah.
guaranteed that he's going to hit, but you may not
I'll
want
just
to
stay
take that
there.
risk.
I should be fine.
All right. And then next up is Egrid. She's going to... She's going to run over here. And I will prepare a thing for her. Moonzy is going to swim over as a shark and bite this guy down here. She misses with a 3. Fergus, you're up.
Can I swim with the octopus?
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to swim to?
Can I go over here and help the band member?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can swim under.
Okay. So, I'll use my bonus action to swim over there then. Yeah. And then I want to use the octopus and just like grab both like throw them back into the water just to sort of give the, like squeeze them and throw them back to inflict a little bit of damage, but also just mainly to give the band member like some breathing room.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2 d20, or yeah, roll me 2 attacks with whatever weapon you want, and I'll do the math on the tentacle bonuses that it gets. So just roll 2 attacks with whatever weapon you want. Doesn't matter. Dagger.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one's definitely going to hit. The second one is not. So which of the 2 do you want to for sure grab?
Just the one that's directly in front of them.
Okay. And it is grabbed and tentacled up. Let me mark it here. All right. And where would you like it moved? You can move it
Just
anywhere
randomly
within...
just yeeted behind. Just
Yeet. Okay, just throwing it behind.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Lands in the water. And... that is your action, your movement, and... yeah, that is you. Leon. You
Yes.
are on the back of this octopus here.
Okay.
You have enemy behind you, enemy above you, and enemy... this one's underneath the ship. That anything that has a blue dot on them means they're underwater. So if there's a blue dot on anybody, that means they're either underwater or on the surface of the water.
Okay. So so if I'm understanding correctly, the Tritons are the bad folks.
Correct.
Right? So these octopus are being held against their will.
Correct. And right now you're in control of one of them because he trusts you to free him. So you've regained control of this octopus. This one is free of Triton control because of your help. So it is following your orders.
Okay. So question.
Mhm.
So I like, how much control do we have over this octopus, if any?
You can speak to underwater animals with your godly ability, so about as much control as you want.
Okay.
You know, if you're
Do
gonna,
you think-
if you're gonna tell it to do something stupid, it's probably it may or may not do it. I mean, I guess it depends on what you want it to do. If you tell it to like start doing your nails, it's probably not gonna do it.
Okay. So I have a crazy idea.
Mm-hmm. I like crazy ideas.
And I don't know if it's possible, simply because I don't know how strong these octopus are. Like, do you think this octopus could like move the boat?
These two together it could only stop the boat. They couldn't move the boat. Just
Got it.
even
Got
with
it.
both
Okay.
of them.
All right. My crazy plan would not work then. That is fine.
Okay.
I was gonna have them fucking like swing the boat baseball bat style. Just
Okay.
swoop. Okay.
Not quite. Yeah, the boat's a little too big.
Okay, I understand now. Yeah, I kind of figured based on the size, but I figured I should at least air out
Hey,
that.
That's a great
crazy idea.
question.
Okay, so
you could
I-
theoretically grab one of the Triton themselves with one tentacle and swing it around and try and hit one of the other ones with it.
Yes, I would like to do that.
All right, which Triton do you want to grab? You haven't played on this thing yet. To ping something, click and hold, and you can tell me which one you want to grab.
Grab that one.
Yep.
And throw him at this guy.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me an attack with any weapon you want on Leon's character sheet, and I'll do the tentacle math. Because the tentacle gets a different buff. I basically just want you to roll a d20, but it's easier for you to just click an attack of your choice.
Yep. One sec. Wait, where's the attack button? Aha, here we go.
Nice, that's 14. A 14 is going to hit the Triton. So you've grabbed this one and you've got it in a tentacle. Now you're going to swing it around, and do you want to like throw it at this one, or do you want to baseball bat him like a
Let's
stick?
do. I'm torn. I feel like I should do the baseball bat.
You're
one.
underwater, so throwing is probably not the best option.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now roll me a. You know what? I'm gonna have this Triton just roll me a dexterity saving throw. You don't have to roll to hit. You're swinging a big area. He rolled a 9, so he's gonna fail. So what I want you to do is roll me 2. Let's do 3d6. So in the chat in Roll20, do / roll and then the number 3, lowercase d, and then 6. In this chat here. There you go. 11. So the octopus wraps around one of the Triton, and you can see him kind of like a few air bubbles kind of come out of his lungs as he's wrapped up, and you swing the Triton into the other Triton as the kind of like underwater clotheslines this Triton as they smack into each other, their barbed skin like stabbing into each other. It is not a pretty sight. You see a bunch of blood kind of rising up to the surface of the ocean as that Triton that you hit, both of them took the 11 damage. I made sure that they both took the damage. So the one that you're holding on to is now just a limp corpse. The one who you hit is hurt, but not dead. So you've got a dead body in one tentacle and a hurt guy next to it. That's your action for your turn. Would you like to move?
I'm fine where I'm at.
All right. Then we're going to go back up to the top here. We're going to do Shisa, and then it's the Triton's turn after that.
Okay. So, it's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do something. Is anybody really low health? Like, I
I'm
think,
low-ish, but I'm on the other side. You need to touch me, don't you?
yeah, is Leon low health?
Yeah. Fairly low.
Alright, I'm gonna cure Leon's wounds.
All right, go ahead and roll the... All right, so Leon, you're going to heal for 10.
Got it.
So go ahead and regain that. That's your action for your turn. Shisa, would you like to move or use a bonus action?
No, and Leon, you're welcome.
All right. That is Shisa's turn. The Triton are going to go. This one is going to make a strength saving throw to break free from the tentacle that it's in. It does make it save, so it breaks out of the tentacle.
My
It's
food's
gonna
here. I'll be back in literally 2 seconds.
Yep, you're good. It's going to swim over here. And this one is going to swim over here. And they're both going to throw their spears at Leon. Leon, you are raging right now. So you're going to take half damage if any of these hit. The first one is a 15 to hit. What's your armor class, Leon?
Wait, what do I have to roll? I'm sorry.
You don't have to roll anything. Your armor class on your character sheet is the number I'm looking for.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
You're good. No, you're not.
The 13.
13. Okay, so that is going to hit you. So you're going to take... Oh, that's not great. 2 points of piercing damage from the spear. And I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. It's in the top left of your character sheet in that little box. The very top left saving throw box. Click on the Constitution one.
Got it.
21, you're good. You can
Let's
feel the
go.
poison of the spear entering your body, but you are immune to it for this turn. The next spear is also going to hit for... Oh, that's much better. That's 11 halved to 5. You're going to take 5 piercing from the second spear. And this time, I would like you to roll me a strength saving throw with advantage. So you roll twice, take the higher number of this strength saving throws. He's going to try and pull you into the water. So you're good with a 24. All right. So he yanks the spear and it just kind of dislodges itself from you instead of pulling you in. It's like a hooked spear, so it's very painful, but it doesn't drag you in the water. All right, Triton's there. Okay, this Triton's going to come up and attack Fergus. Basically saying, get off my octopus. When Ross gets back, that's 14 to hit him. I don't think that hits. It might hit. This other Triton here is going to attack Grit on the ship and miss. And finally, this Titan here is going to attack Shisa with a 2 and miss. Unfortunate. All right. Uno momento, por favor. I'm going to get us a... good old Egrid hit here. Give me a second. I know she's got some cool spells. All right. She is going to... She's going to cast Guiding Bolt. And she's going to hit for a lot of damage. All right. She points her hand over the top of the railing of the ship at this Triton that just attacked at Shisa. And as she does, this bolt of energy comes flying out of her hand, hits the Triton underwater, and Shisa, you can just barely see from the waves and the smoke rising. This Triton now has a giant hole in its chest as it starts floating to the bottom of the sea. Straight up dead. One shot.
Hi.
You back?
Yeah, I heard most of what was going on. I was just getting my food.
Okay, what's your armor class?
My armor class is... Oh, might be on D&D's. 15, 1-5.
Okay, so the guy misses you with the spear, and it is... Now, Moonsy is gonna swim over here and bite a bitch with her... She's gonna do this guy, because... he is low. And she is gonna hit for... Nice. Alright, that guy's almost dead, this one right here. He is almost dead. Alright, Fergus, you are up. You've got a Triton behind you that just threw a spear at you, and you got a Triton in front of you on the deck of the ship. The band gets to go after you.
I'm probably just gonna do the same, but instead of like yeeting them, because they're both in grabbing distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna grab them both
Mhm.
and I guess just like smack them against each other.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, Bright, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone from Bright Stream. Hi, we're playing D&D. They're fighting with some octopus. The octopus are actually the mounts. They're on top of the octopi, and they're fighting some tritons, some underwater sea creatures. Big pirate battle. Hi, everybody. Go ahead and roll me an attack, Ross. Any attack you want. And I'll do the math. All right, so you grab this guy up top. And you want to do the same kind of thing, baseball bat, swing him into the other guy?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the octopus kind of swings him from overhead and on top of this other Triton. Go ahead and roll me. Yep, roll me 3d6, just like Colin did. So in the chat there, do / roll number 3 lowercase d6.
Oh
unfortunate.
my.
All right, smashes down on top of the other Triton, each of them taking 7 damage. And that is your action for your turn. Would you like to move?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just swim down the side of the boat to as far as I can go down this way, down south.
All right. And then are you taking that Triton with you that you're still holding on to? Or do you want to drop it? This one right here.
Yeah, I'll bring it with me.
All right. Coming with. Next up, the band. We're going to do a attack from the mage, which is a miss. We're going to do a bazooka attack, which is going to hit this guy over here, which is going to kill him. Then we are going to have... This guy's going to run over here and make sure his buddy's okay, while his buddy throws a drumstick into the water. Natural 20 to stab into this Triton over here. Close to killing him. And that is their turn. Leon, you are up.
Yes. Okay.
Shisa, you're on deck.
The Triton that has the X on it, what does the X represent?
He is a dead Triton that is in your grasp, the octopus grasp.
Oh,
You just
cool.
Once you let him go, I'll delete him off the map.
Okay. So you said the Tritons are underwater?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anything with a blue dot is underwater, including you. Shisa's just like standing on the back of the octopus, just with her head out of the waves.
Okay. I would like to attempt to throw the dead Triton
Mm-hmm.
with such force
Mhm.
that it breaches the water and hits the Triton here.
On the other side of the ship. Okay,
Yeah, I want
that's
the
gonna
trick
be
shot.
that's gonna be a dexterity based attack because you're aiming it instead of like it doesn't matter how strong you are. The octopus is definitely strong enough to do that. It's just your aim is what's gonna matter here. So
I see. Okay.
roll me an attack, and then what's your dexterity
crap.
modifier?
+2.
+2. Okay. So that would actually be 4 + 2. That'd be 6. So this Triton just goes yeeted off the screen.
Dude, it's completely whiffed.
Like into the sun, like lose it in the sun kind of thing, and it lands somewhere in the ocean very far away.
God damn it.
It was a cool idea. You still got another tentacle if you want to attack this other Triton here.
Wait, I have another...
Yeah. I'll let you...
Oh, I get another action?
I'll let you at least grab him. Maybe not do anything with him, but
Yeah,
at least grab him.
let's grab him then.
All right. So go ahead and roll me another attack here.
Yes.
That's
Oh
gonna
my
miss,
God.
unfortunately.
Dude,
Unfortunate
that's so
turn. Would you like to move?
I'm chilling with my current spot.
All right, sounds good. Shisa, you're up.
Hello. I would like to walk up as close as possible to well, can I get right next to Leon right here?
Mm-hmm.
And can I thunderclap this guy from here?
What's the range of Thunderclap?
5 foot.
Yeah, it's 5.
So you would
but-
need to move one closer to Crocus to be able to do it, or one diagonal.
Wait, is Crocus in the water?
Mm-hmm.
I can't go in the water. Oh gosh. Okay, never mind.
You
I'm
can
not
dangle
going
over
to...
the edge of the octopus here if you want to move to this spot right between you and Crocus. You can dangle over the edge of the octopus, do the attack, and move back.
I
would
think I'll just do dissonant whispers from a
Mhm.
safe distance because I don't want to risk falling in the water.
All right, he fails his save, so go ahead and roll the damage.
All right, let's go.
12 with the dissonant whispers, and then he needs to move as far as he can away from you. So he grabs his head underwater, dropping one of his spears, and begins quickly swimming away as Moonsey gets an opportunity attack, which is a natural 20 on her shark bite. Which is enough as this guy starts swimming away. He grabs his head and starts swimming in the opposite direction of Ishisa. And as he does, Moonsey just bites into his head and crushes the head like a watermelon.
Jesus Christ.
And then you can see her as a shark go.
Yeah, get him, Crocus. Good job.
Let's
She,
go.
It's not something I don't think she would find enjoyable at all. Is that the first person Moonsey's killed? I'm not sure. I'll have to ask her. That may not have happened. We'll say she either did it non-lethally or she did it, however she wants to do it, but we'll ask her next time.
It wasn't canon.
Yeah, that wasn't canon. That was just me thinking of how a shark would kill somebody with a natural 20. Okay. The Triton that are left, there's 2. One is in the grasp of an octopus and can't get out. The other is going to swim over here and do his spear attack at Fergus with a 19 to hit for 10 points of piercing damage. Then Fergus, once you take that 10, I need you to roll me a... do I want to drag or poison? Drag or poison, drag or poison.
I got hit 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I think we're gonna do a drag. Roll me a strength saving throw.
Oh.
All right, so that is a fail. So you do get dragged off of the back of the octopus towards the Triton into the water, which is fine. You can breathe underwater. You have been underwater here already. The other Triton is stuck in the octopus's grasp. And those are the only Triton that are around. So, Fergus, your turn.
Am I currently impaled?
You are currently impaled. Which doesn't have any negatives towards you other than that's just you're currently pulling it out. You're currently pulling the spear out at the start of your turn, basically. So you're not going to stay impaled. By the way, Crocus on her turn shapeshifted out of shark form and got on the back of the octopus with Shisa.
Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna straight up just try and attack the guy in front of me. Nothing too special. Just
Yep.
rapier him.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your rapier attack. No disadvantages, even though you're underwater. 10 is going to miss with that attack. You do have inspiration, if you would like to use it. It's an extra
it's plus 5, right?
An extra D8. So roll another D8. 13 is just gonna miss. 14 is what you need.
Okay, no problem. Then I'm gonna use my disengage, and I'm just gonna swim towards the group, really. So over this direction, east.
All right, you got it. Go ahead and move your token over there.
How many squares?
You can move 6 squares.
Yep.
All right. That is Fergus, the band. They're gonna come over here and make an attack and miss. And then the only other ranged guy is gonna come over here, make an attack, miss. This guy can do a spell. Come on, here. Let's go, Jean-Paul. There we go. Okay, we got some damage. There's 4 psychic damage. All right, so the band are throwing their spells and weapons into the water, trying to finish off that Triton. Leon, you are up, and you can see that there are currently only 2 Triton left. You're in the driver's seat. They're across the boat from you. You can swim underneath it if you want to get to them. Or, well, I wouldn't do that, actually, because Crocus and Shisa... But you could use your tentacles to put them on the ship. Like, just set them on the ship and then do it.
See, I just don't want to accidentally drown Moonsey or Crocus. Could I have the octopus throw me to the other side towards the Triton?
Yes.
And go for an attack?
Yeah.
I'm really craving a cool trick shot. I don't know. It's very...
Okay.
I think like it's very uncharacteristic of Leon to be feeling himself like this and going for glory kills, but like I feel like my man is kind of feeling himself right now. He's in his element.
So
shit, he's riding an octopus.
So
yeah, absolutely. That's king shit, dude.
Underwater here, the octopus is looking at you. It says,
"What do you want me to do?"
Well, you see, I want you to throw me as hard as you possibly can to the other side.
You're serious?
Serious as I've ever been.
You creatures are crazy. But okay.
He wraps you up with his tentacle and yeets you over to the other side of the ship. Egrid and the band are all looking at you as you fly over top. Shisa and Crocus, you're left on the back of an octopus. As Leon, you fly over the top of the ship, just barely missing the crow's nest. You fly past it and are about to land on top of this Triton, who I'm going to have make a dexterity saving throw. He rolls a 1. Okay. So roll me your flail damage twice, or whatever weapon you want. Whatever weapon you're using, roll it twice, because this is gonna be like a dropping strike.
Wait, so roll
whatever damage you want, like whatever flail you want to do. Flail, you want to do a different weapon, whatever weapon you want, and then roll it twice.
Okay.
You don't even need to roll to hit, because I basically what happened is, I'll kind of explain to you. So you went over the top of the ship, you pulled out your flail, and you came down on the Triton, and instead of having you roll an attack, I had him roll to like dodge, basically, but he failed really hard. So you just get to hit automatically here. So just go ahead and roll the damage. And you're gonna roll twice.
Oh shit, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you're gonna get double damage because it's like a falling attack.
Nice.
13. Nice. Okay, 13 is enough to do it. So how do you want to do it? It's enough to kill him. So how do you want to finish him off? You're coming down with the flail. How does it look? Describe it to me.
I'm just thinking big overhead strike, like wound up, classic, keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you come down, the flail hits the top of the Triton and crumples him underwater, obscured by the waves and the splash of you landing. I think for flavor purposes, you ever done a belly flap before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know how painful that is. So let's have you roll a acrobatics check. And this is just for flavor. You won't take too much damage, but we'll see what you get with your acrobatics check here. Nice.
It's a dive, baby.
it's a dive slam, which is perfect. And
awesome.
That Triton's dead. There's only one Triton left, and it's in the grasp of this octopus over here, who I think is just going to take his tentacle, wrap it around the head of the Triton until he stops breathing, and that's the end of combat. That was sweet. Good job, everybody.
Yay.
All
Can I
right.
get a heal?
What'd you say?
Can I get a heal from my bestie? Because I'm on 3 HP.
Seems like Fergus needs a little healing.
I'm just gonna walk over and be like, "Hey, bestie."
Yeah, I think I can.
All right, so go ahead and roll your healing there. Looks like
7.
7 healing, not bad.
Okay, thank
Go ahead
you.
and mark that spell off, Jinx.
Oh yeah.
And that is the end of combat. So I'm going to move you guys back to the main page, away from El Mapo Capitano. And then I think we are good there. Cool. Everyone can see our drawings. Let's we gotta hide the drawings. All right, perfect. So the octopi set you back on the ship. Anyone who can't swim or who can't breathe underwater, they set you back on the ship. And Fergus and Leon, you are left underwater with the octopi. They look at you and kind of nod their heads, and you both hear them say, or one of them say,
Thank you for helping us.
You're welcome.
so they can understand you. You can understand them. So they nod their heads. They say,
Is there any way we can repay you?
Well, we're going to Jurassor. So any help, advice, or even companionship, if you fancy coming along with us, would be much appreciated.
We cannot accompany you to Jurassor, but we can give you answers to questions about creatures or places near Jurassor. What questions do you have, little blue creature?
Is there anything like what should we be most aware of when we're at arriving and at Jurassor?
The island is surrounded by sharp, jagged rocks. Do not bring any vessels near them. There are creatures called sirens near those rocks. When you get close to the island, cover your ears. Do not hear their song, for if you hear their song, you will be compelled to go near them. I have seen sirens eat people much bigger than you.
Oh, I was about to ask what they do if we go near them, but I guess we become their dinner. Interesting. Okay. Um. We're looking for a treasure on the island. Have you seen or heard of any of this treasure?
We are not knowledgeable about treasure. What is it you
Yeah.
seek?
We have a map that we've been given by our fellow crewmates. And we want to uh, uh, discover it, find it.
We are sorry.
they kind of look at each other.
We have never been to Jurassor.
Why might that be?
They both kind of, their eyes shift back and forth, and they look at both of you, and they say,
It is dangerous for even us. There is a creature. We have never seen it, but we've heard stories. It is massive, much larger than either of us or both of us combined.
Mm-hmm.
It is shaped like a large fish with hooked teeth and a big glowing bulb that dangles from its head.
The octopus is describing an anglerfish. Do you know what an anglerfish is?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's describing an anglerfish that is bigger than the both of them combined.
Jesus. And is there any way to deal with this anglerfish? Or
It resides in the depths, and as far as we know, it picks and chooses randomly when it appears. We do not wish to be its next meal, and neither should you. But it has been many years since it's shown its face.
maybe it's dead.
Who's to say? There is no reason for us to go to Jurassor, though.
Where will you go then?
Home. To our children and our mates. We were
Okay.
taken.
How long have you been captive?
Years. They don't know.
Do you know of
They don't know
anyone who's
numbers.
Okay. Do you know anyone who's been to Jurassor or anything that's been to Jurassor? Have you heard of anyone coming back from Jurassor?
No. It is not a place that people go to and come back from. But there is one memory I have, and it is of this ship that you are on. This ship.
And he points towards the pirate ship that you're procuring travel with.
We have seen it before. The sailors of this ship attacked our captors and took their valuables. Our captors were traders in precious gems called sapphires.
As it says that, both Leon and Fergus roll me perception checks.
Mm.
You can also jump in anytime you want, Leon.
Yes,
So-
I'm just kind of listening.
So Leon, you don't see much, but Fergus, as he says that, you got an eye for shiny things. You see the body of one of the Tritons floating to the bottom of the ocean, and you see a glint of a sapphire in its pocket.
So I'll swim down and go grab it.
Okay. So you swim down, you grab this sapphire. It's a large sapphire. It's probably like 4 inches by 4 inches, perfectly cut, and looks like it would be beautiful on a piece of jewelry or something of the like. It's probably worth quite a bit of money. The rest of the Triton bodies have already kind of floated down to the very depths. This was just the last one that you had killed. It was slowly floating down. And so you have procured yourself a sapphire. You get probably why the pirates that are giving you a ride, they you know, they're pirates. They're gonna do what they want to get whatever money they can. And in this case, it seems like last time they came through, they killed a bunch of Triton for their sapphires. And these Triton were trying to get revenge.
Yeah, so I'll just give the sapphire back to the octopus. Was it the octopuses or no? Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't. Oh, never mind. Then I'll just keep it.
We have no use for these gems.
Okay.
Be careful. The people you are with are ruthless. I saw what they did.
What did they do?
They attacked the Triton from nowhere, ambushed them, killed women and children.
But Tritons are bad peoples. I've they kept you captive for years.
The octopus nods its head, and it says,
I do not know of good and bad, but I know that those women and children never did anything to me.
it's kind of an interesting dichotomy here, because if you think about it, what were the Triton doing here, right? They didn't know you guys were on board. They didn't know who you were, right? They were just attacking the pirate ship that came through and basically pillaged their area.
So, well, I'll ask the octopus then. Like, do you know why they attacked us? Was it targeted? What, like, did you overhear anything when you were being brought along?
I don't speak their language.
As you remember, you're speaking octopus right now.
Okay.
But it does say
The Triton people, they held us captive, but their people didn't deserve what happened to them. So, we appreciate both of you for freeing us, but do not hold it against all Triton.
Okay. I don't
Just be careful of
That's
the
what I
people you're
said.
with. I would not want to see either of you hurt.
Do you think we should leave them behind?
I cannot say.
Do you guys want to ask anything? Call it, James.
I'm just kind of listening. I'm a
nothing
little
else.
like wiped.
What'd you say?
I think Leon is a little like wiped from being thrown across
Yeah.
the ship. So I'm just kind of listening.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be the end of the conversation. Nothing else for the octopi to say unless you have any other questions for them, right? So,
Yeah.
okie doke.
I think we best continue on our way.
All right. They nod their heads and swim off into the depths of the ocean away from your ship. And you guys climb up the ladder at the back of the ship, back on board. And as you might recall, your engine was snapped during the battle. The engine, the propelling engine, was broken. And right now the band and some of the other workers of the ship are working to try and fix it. As you hear hammers clanging and wrenches turning and a bunch of people shouting, trying to bark out orders at each other to try and fix the ship. Other than that, though, the ship is intact. There's no leakage, nothing like that. So right now it's just at a standstill, kind of in the middle of the ocean. And as you come back on board, a grateful Jean-Paul approaches both Fergus and Leon and says, well, if it isn't the two heroes of the battle.
All right, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. And all of you are, you're okay.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
nods
I'm a
his
little
head.
bit hurt, a little bit scuffed up, but as is every fight.
He nods his head. Turns to Shisa and Crocus. Kind of gathers you all around. And he says, well, those creatures are heathens, obviously. Disgusting creatures that don't know what they're doing.
Mhm.
So, thank you for taking care of the barbaric little underwater sea things. Did you happen to procure any of their corpses?
No, why?
There's no reason.
That's a loaded question. Go
Yeah,
on.
I
tell me
think
what's
I
going
think that's quite strange. Not many people after a battle think, "Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna take the dead body with me."
Well, it isn't like that. It's well, Tritons are known for having the sea gems, sapphires.
Okay.
He looks at Fergus and makes the like money sign with his fingers.
Yeah. No. I mean, you're welcome to swim to the ocean floor, but something tells me you don't have lungs big enough to withstand that.
He laughs, kind of a hearty laugh, and he says, "Yeah, no, nope, not gonna be me. I wouldn't do that. But I'm glad you're all safe, and we'll try and get the engine working. Make yourselves at home. Few things to remember. You have some information that could be used against these pirates. As in, you know what they've done to the Triton, and you know that they have been stealing people's like wallets and places, like things, like basically swindling people that come to their concerts, and they have them stashed in some barrels, some like nondescript barrels on the deck here. They don't know that you know that. So there's some information that you guys have. They seem like a pretty savvy bunch, like in combat. So like, you guys are kind of licking your wounds right now. May not want to start a confrontation with them, as they didn't really get too hurt during the battle, which may have been kind of strategic on their part. They may have just let you guys do all the dirty work. But just remember that, these guys, they don't seem like good people. They don't seem like good people at all. They are giving you a ride though, and they're trying to fix the engine. So, would anyone like to help fix the engine?
I'd like to attempt to.
Yeah. You've seen engines like this before. They're pretty high tech. They're not on very many pirate ships, but you've seen them before, so you might be able to help a little bit. Go ahead and roll me a d20. So /roll d20 in the Roll20 chat, and we'll see what you get. 17.
Tight.
Nice. Okay. So as you look at the engine of the ship, you'll notice it's kind of peeling off the back of the ship and smoking a bit. There are some bolts that need to be put back in place, some like steam valves that need to be soldered back shut, those kinds of things. And as you point them out, the people start kind of following your directions, and you're able to fix up the ship's engine a bit faster than they would have been able to by themselves. You are actually going to get a little bit of inspiration for that. So that is a different type of inspiration than what Shisa gives. This is DM inspiration. So this is me giving you inspiration for taking on a small task that you didn't have to take on. And in this case, what it means is you can re-roll any dice that you roll today for the rest of this session. So you can do that one time. Okie doke.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a little inspiration for you. You can mark that on your character sheet. There's actually a little spot for it if you want to tick that box. It's up at the top of your character sheet. But yeah. All right. So with that, the engine is fixed, and you guys head off towards Jurassor. Now, I'd like you guys to discuss some things together, the three of you, while you're traveling. You've got about a day's travel to get to Jurassor. You know some things now, Fergus, that the octopi have told you. So, like Shisa and Crocus, they don't have this information. So I want you guys to kind of have that conversation, role play a little bit of it out. We don't really get a whole lot of time for you guys to just be your characters and just like, talk or do whatever you kind of want to do. You can hang out and play games. You can, gamble together or whatever you guys want to do. But you got a little bit of time here before we actually get to Jurassor, which is like the next big quest for you. So, give this information to your party, Fergus, however you would do it, however Fergus would do it. And you can tell me where you go on the ship if you want a specific spot that you guys talk at.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just go back to the quarters that we've been staying in, and I'll just fill everyone in on everything.
Okay. So, what do you fill them in on?
So I tell them that I spoke to the octopus. Well, no, they were party to that conversation. They were party to all conversations.
Shisa and Crocus weren't.
We can't understand the octopus.
Yeah.
We can only hear what you're saying.
Okay. So I spoke to the octopus, and it gave me a few tips and tricks for Jurassor. We need to be careful of our crew members because they attack children and women. And also, for some reason, they're looking, and I pull the sapphire out of my pocket. For some reason, they're looking for this sapphire, or I don't know if there's more in the ocean bed, but I didn't loot this body. We don't have this sapphire. I don't know why they want it. It must be pretty valuable. And there's a big fucking anglerfish, massive anglerfish that's probably going to eat us if we go to Jurassor, but apparently it hasn't shown itself in a few years, so I don't really know. To be honest, that's a lot of information. It's information overload, but I don't know what you guys want to do. But we need to be very careful of these crewmates. They warned me very heavily that they've seen these people before, and they're not very good people.
And Leon, this would make sense to you. As you've heard, they're a pretty ruthless group
100%.
In pirate circles. You've heard before. Does anyone remember there's one other thing that the octopus told you about on your trip into Jurassor, or something you should do?
Yeah, not get close to it with a boat because there's jagged rocks everywhere.
And on those jagged rocks, what kind of creature did they tell you about?
The anglerfish?
Does anyone remember?
No.
Y'all. You asked.
It's down in my notes.
You asked what you were gonna ask what the creature did, and I told you it was gonna eat you. The creatures.
Yeah, it was the anglerfish.
This
Was it the sirens?
Yeah, they were sirens.
Oh, the sirens. Yeah.
This is a pretty big important thing because, as you've heard from the crew, they've never really been to Jurassor, so the crew doesn't know about this either. Like the band doesn't know about this either. Going to Jurassor, there are creatures called sirens around the coastline, and they are. Does everyone know what a siren is? Everyone as a player? It's okay if you don't. It's like a mermaid, kind of, but like with kind of like a feathery body instead of like a fish-like body. And they sing songs that, when heard by sailors, hypnotize them to drive their boats into the spiny rocks. And once the boat has crashed, then the sirens swarm the boat like, ants and eat the people on the boat, consume them. So, with that information, you may want to tell the people driving the boat that information as well.
Okay. I think these people are going to try and kill us. I think they're going to come to Jurassor and kill us once we get this treasure. So I think what we should do, is these sirens are going to kill us if we don't wear ear protection or cover our ears. I think we can get an easy kill or two from the crew if we lure them towards the island, and we don't keep them privy to this information, because they're going to want to come with us most likely to then kill us as soon as we find the treasure. So let's try and get as many killed via the sirens, and we'll play stupid, and then we'll be at more of an advantage in when they try and confront us / fight us, We just need to act dumb and act like we don't know what's going on.
I think that works. Yeah, we can kite them towards the sirens, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really know much about the ocean and the sea and stuff and sea creatures, so I guess I'll just let you guys, figure out the plan.
Okay. So I wanted to give you guys some time to kind of flesh out your characters a little bit because we haven't really done that like a lot. So I want to give you all a little bit of time to like really take a second. Everyone just close your eyes for a second and imagine yourself as your character. Because one thing I think I've noticed with Blood of the Immortals is there's a lot of stuff always going on, but never a lot of downtime for you guys to just like be you and think about how your character would act, how they sound, think a little bit about maybe their backstory, think about what they think of each other. Like, what does Fergus think of like a snake person? Like, what does Leon think of like having a brother for the first time? And that brother being 1/4 his size and with blue scaly skin. We haven't had a lot of time for you guys to really be in your characters. So step into your character's shoes for a second and let's just play around in some role play. This is a kind of a fun thing to do. There's literally no pressure. It's all take backsies. You can take back whatever you want. Be like, no, I don't think I'd say that. Maybe I'll, change it or, just pretend to be your characters for a little bit and talk about the situation you're in. There's nobody listening right now. You talk about the situation you're in, what you're excited about. You could talk about what you're scared about. Crocus is there with you. I can play Crocus if you want to talk with her too. I feel like I know her pretty well. So, you guys are in the quarters that you've been staying in, and you can hear the rocking of the boat, the creaking as it starts pushing off into motion towards Jurassor. The engine is fixed. You hear a few people shouting, "All ready to go, Captain!" And the ship starts moving, thanks to Leon's help. So, while you're all in the room, let's take some time to talk to each other, as you would have a lot of downtime. It could be awkward too, because, that's what it's like when you're, sometimes with people. It's okay to be awkward. So, what's up, guys? That kind of thing. It can be like that.
I'm very apprehensive at the word of these sirens, hearing about them. I've lost many good men. I've seen too many good men go down before them.
I'm kind of worried about being able to cover my ears. It's really hard for me to swim without using my hands sometimes.
But thankfully, we're in a boat with a band and a stage, and I'd be very surprised if the band doesn't have hearing protection that we could steal.
Yeah.
Some earbuds. What we could do is, we could pretend that we're struggling to sleep, and I'll go and get us some earbuds, and we can just keep them in our drawer until we get close, and just yeah.
That sounds like a great idea. I think we should definitely do that because just covering your ears with your hands is kind of a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, I'll go and quickly get some. I'll pretend that we're not able to sleep and we're trying to have a nap or something, and we're gonna just ask to borrow some earbuds. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I kind of walk out of the room and go and find one of the band members.
Okay. You walk up top and you see Grit, who is the drummer. He is sitting, kind of sleeping or dozing near the crow's nest kind of area, the big mast that goes up to the crow's nest. He's just chilling at the base of it with his eyes closed. One kind of opens up as you start approaching. He kind of hears your footsteps. His eye opens up and he says, "Hey, little blue guy. What's up?"
Hi, mate. Me and the crew are struggling to get to sleep. We're trying to have a little nap here. You don't happen to You don't happen to have any earbuds or anything like that we can borrow, do you?
Yeah, we got ear coverings. It gets loud. Yeah, I'll grab you some. He kind of stands up, brushes himself off, and runs over to what looks like a living quarter for one of the band members and knocks on the door. As he does, Jean-Paul opens up the door, and you can see behind Jean-Paul there is a dwarven woman that is on his bed. She's covering herself up with the blanket, and Grit's like, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt." And Jean-Paul's like, "Oh, it's all right, mate. What do you need?" He tells him you need some ear coverings, and he grabs some out of his room and hands them to Grit, who then walks back over to you with his spiky hair and hands you 5 ear coverings.
Cheers, lads. Appreciate it. Sleep well when you guys get to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Or I can't remember what time of day it is, but I'll see you when we wake up.
He nods his head. It's like getting close to dinner time or so.
Okay.
And
Well, I'll see you guys for dinner then. We're just gonna have a quick 45-minute nap. We're fucked after the fight, so we're just
understandable. Yeah, you guys are badasses.
Yeah, thank you.
He nods his head.
Are you guys not accustomed to battle? Like, what are you?
Oh, we're accustomed to it. We've done plenty of battle, plenty of it. We're not a force to be reckoned with. And he kind of does like this muscle motion and starts flexing his muscles.
Oh, okay, fair enough, lads. Sorry, I didn't mean to cause any offense.
He didn't cause any offense, little guy. He seems very condescending towards you.
Have you ever ridden an octopus before?
No.
Watch who you're calling little guy.
Never ridden an octopus before.
Okay, then careful who you call little guy. Then, yeah.
Roll me an intimidation check with disadvantage.
It's funny.
Let's see what you get. Who knows? Maybe you'll roll kind of high. Double 5. Let me roll for him. He didn't roll that much higher, but he did roll higher. He kind of laughs and he says, "Well, I mean, without an octopus, you don't really look that tough, but I saw what you did in battle. You're not really a force to be reckoned with either, probably."
Yeah. Fair enough, man.
But I'm not scared of you.
Good for you. Don't know what you want me to say, pal. I'm half asleep here. I'm gonna go and have a nap. So, listen, I didn't mean to cause any offense or anything. Don't worry. My mistake. And thank you for the ear coverings. I'm gonna head down under deck and spend some time with my crew and have some shut eye.
Yeah. He starts throwing up all over the deck. He seems drunk.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of rocking back and forth.
I just kind of like call out Jean-Paul's name. I'm like, your pal's not having a good time, Jean-Paul. I need to go back under deck, but I don't know if you want to.
You just hear from behind the door, "He'll be fine."
All right, and then I just walk away.
All right, you see some of the crew members, like the deckhands. They start running over to start cleaning up his puke, and you head downstairs. As you get back down there, you've got some ear coverings now to help you deal with the sirens. You've got one for each of you and one for Viktor, who is also there with you in the cabin.
Fantastic. So yeah, everyone, look, I got us ear coverings, and I kind of just like hold them up in the air and show everyone. I was like, right, I'm gonna put them in this drawer over here, and I just put them in a chest of drawers. And I said, right, remember, we need these. These are very important.
Viktor nods his head and he says, "So, are you all at peace if you end up dying here at Jurassor when you get there?"
Say that again, Viktor, sorry.
Would you all be at peace if you died?
At least I died knowing I was trying my best. So I think I would be at peace.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I just like knew that
accepting this whole quest in general, like leaving the tavern that I was at, that there was a possibility that I was going to die. So I guess I've been fine with it ever since we left.
Well, that's all that I can say. What about you, Minotaur? Would you be at peace if you died, Leon?
This kind of gives Leon pause. It's not really something he's really considered. I'd like to believe so.
You
but
don't seem
it's
confident.
impossible to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, my life lacked a major sense of direction until these people came along. Till my brother came along. And if
Kind of nod
dying,
in Leon's general direction while he's talking.
You what? In Leon's general direction?
I just kind of nod in his general, like just a nod of acknowledgement.
Victor nods at both of you, kind of like understanding.
if I died to serve, if I died in an effort to help them, then it would not be a death in vain.
I see. I admire your courage. I'm not sure what to think of my own courage. It seems somewhat misplaced. As I think of my wife and my children, and how I wasn't there for them, and now they're gone forever. And I don't think I could die without avenging them. Are you sure that this is going to work? Assembling all these artifacts. Is this going to work?
I hope so.
I guess we won't know until we try it out, huh?
He kind of nervously laughs. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, what more could I lose?
Your life.
It's worth nothing. He kind of twiddles his thumbs a little bit.
I wouldn't sell yourself short like that, my friend.
I've seen what you can do. I'm not going to be of much use to you. But there's nothing left for me home. There's nobody there. Everything I used to live for is taken from me by this creature who's coming after you. You know, maybe it's all of your fault that they're dead. If you had never come to Thieves, maybe he would have never been there. Victor kind of like looks down at the ground, and you see some tears dripping off his nose.
You know what, Victor? I don't think anybody's at any fault here. Like, things just happen the way that they do, and you can never say that one specific event was responsible for it. And rumination and just sitting here and wallowing in the past is only going to make you weak and sad. And if you want to be strong and like be able to fight like us, you need to learn from that experience and become stronger from it instead of making it hurt you.
He his kind of like shoulders are like shaking a little bit, and he sniffles. I'm not sure whether to hate you or be grateful to you.
I think mixed emotions are valid. You've been through a lot the past few days, so I don't know, we can leave you like we can give you some time by yourself if you're, feeling a bit.
As you say that, he interrupts you. He says, "No, no, don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone anymore."
Well, we're your friends now, so you won't be alone.
Yeah, we're all your friends.
Even you. And he looks over at Leon. Leon?
Leon?
He might have
Leon?
stepped away. That's okay.
Oh.
As he says that, he kind of nods his head. And Crocus obviously has been very supportive this whole conversation. I haven't role-played it out, but you can imagine what Moonsy's character would say. She's a pretty positive person for the most part. So she's been pretty supportive, adding moments here and there. Viktor is, as you guys have seen, a very effective hunter and could be very useful in the jungle when it comes to searching for things like treasure, cave systems, creatures, that kind of stuff. But he's obviously not as strong as any of you, not even close. He's the kind of person who is blinded with emotion right now. He seems like a very emotional person. And so him coming on this adventure was, and you guys knew it because you told him it was a stupid idea when he said he was coming with you. You can tell that he is now thinking about his mortality. He's thinking about I could die fairly easily compared to these people. And he is thinking about what he still needs to do in life. And I kind of want you guys to think a little bit about your characters and if there's anything that your characters still want to do in life. Do you have does Fergus have a goal outside of making sure he doesn't die to Gormok the Godslayer? Does he have dreams and shit? Same with Shisa, Viktor, his life is solely motivated right now in revenge. He seems like he doesn't have anything else that he wants to do because his family was everything to him and he lost it. So now the only thing he has is this. And he's realizing that the only thing he has is probably a one-way trip to his death. He's realizing that there's really only one way this ends for him if he's not careful about it. And so you can tell he's got a bunch of mixed emotions right now. And he's kind of realizing in this one moment of downtime, he's realizing where he's at, who he's with. He's with the people that, kind of lured the killer to his city, that kind of thing. And he's definitely, like you said, he's got mixed emotions. So I want you to think about, what does Fergus want? What does Leon want? What does Shisa want in life? And is there urgency in making sure that your characters don't die? Are you worried about them? Have they been close to death yet? And you thought, oh man, I'm gonna like my character's gonna die, and there's so much that they still needed to do. If not, maybe start thinking about some stuff that would be cool for your character to have dreams of doing. Like maybe Shisa wants to be a famous musician, or maybe Fergus wants to find a wife or a husband and settle down and have some kobold kids, or who knows what your dreams are. But what do you guys think about what I'm talking about? I'm kind of rambling.
I don't necessarily think Fergus has any goals because he kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of whatever his old life was, it just seems so far from reality that it's he's kind of just accepted fate that he's kind of an adventurer now.
Mm-hmm. And that definitely makes sense for Fergus, because Fergus grew up in a cave, not really doing much. So this is life for Fergus. Would Fergus, what would be the perfect death for Fergus? Like, you don't have to answer right now if you want to think about it, but like, what would be the perfect death? Would the perfect death be like adventuring for many years and then dying in like a very heroic or cool way? Would like a perfect death be, adventuring for many years and then eventually, retiring and living life,
I guess
until
if
old
I had
age?
to die, I guess dying in an honorable way.
Mhm.
So like always ensuring that like I guess kind of like a take a bullet for a friend type beat. Like I wouldn't want to
Mhm.
just like die because I died, like I'd
Right.
want to die honorably.
You would want it to be meaningful and not just like,
Yeah, and
oh
not even
shit,
necessarily
Fergus
a
just died
flashy death,
alone.
but just a meaningful, yeah, exactly. Like a meaningful death. Doesn't have to be flashy, like I don't actually have to take a bullet for someone, but
Mhm.
like something somewhat meaningful that like I don't know, I guess if the afterlife was a thing, like if Fergus was to look back at his death and be like, did I really need to die for that? And
Mhm.
just to be able to be like, yeah, okay, I did need to die for that, like fair play.
Right. I like that. So Fergus has like a sense of kind of heroism, like wanting to kind of be a hero, even though you're a thief. It's not really who you are, because deep down you really want to adventure and it seems like do good.
Correct.
That's cool. Shisa, what do you think? What would Shisa's like perfect death be? This is kind of a deep conversation. Like, would it
I
just
think
be
a cruelty-free one probably would be the best for Shisa, because she spent most of her life like in a really cruel household. Like
Mhm.
she even experienced her mom one time literally cut the head off of a slave who accidentally dropped her breakfast one morning to make an example out of her. And she was really like used to like violence and bloodshed as a way to assert dominance and power in her society and where she lived. And she really hates it and she doesn't like it, and she doesn't want to experience that or end up like the people that she saw like so many times before.
okay? So a peaceful maybe death, maybe not like a violent, cruel one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So hoping to live through this adventure, I would assume.
Yeah, she really does want to live. She has no death wish or anything, but she's definitely very like pessimistic, or I guess you would more say realistic
Mhm.
about situations and not like overly positive, like we're gonna make it, guys.
Mhm. Fair enough. Okay. Leon, are you there?
Yep.
Perfect.
I
So-
think that like Leon
Yeah.
has this weird fixation on the concept of purpose.
Mhm.
And that, you know, I've mentioned before that Leon felt a disconnect from like the, I guess, rather barbaric like pirate lifestyle that he was surrounded by. Like pillaging ships and just
Right.
kind of working for pay.
Yeah, a pirate lives for the goods, the treasure, the booty. A pirate,
Right.
they live for their purpose of like, okay, I got the treasure chest. Now let's go get the next one and the next one and the next one.
Yeah, it's this consistent chase, and it sowed a lot of discontent within Leon, in that like he feels it's not his purpose, it's not what he's meant to do, and thus he's in search of purpose and has not really admitted that to the party, but feels he's found, or is beginning to feel as though he's found purpose in looking out for the party and of his friends and his brother. And obviously the stakes of, I guess, saving the world are important to Leon, but nowhere near as important to Leon as ensuring the safety and eventual prosperity of the party.
Right. Okay. Then that other question, I like that answer. And then that other question, what would be like the ideal death for Leon? Like if you had to die, how would you imagine Leon would be happy with it? Like, there could be multiple answers. You could give me what he wouldn't be happy with.
I think like the classic like death and sacrifice to help others or save others.
Mhm.
Very corny,
Very,
but kind of
very
ties
much
into
like
that
your brother.
purpose, you know? Yeah, it is very similar. Like I find a lot of it definitely there's a lot of parallels there.
Nice. Okay. I'll ask Moonsey next time about with Crocus. I would imagine this is not something that Crocus ever imagined she'd be a part of. You know, Crocus grew up on a farm making bread in a bakery. You know, Crocus grew up in a pretty peaceful little town. Being called to action like this is probably not something Crocus ever imagined. I can't say how Crocus would want to die if they had a choice, but I can say that Crocus is, as Moonsey has said before, you know, discovering a new family and learning the truth about her own family has been meaningful to her. And she's kind of warming up to this kind of adventurer life. She's always kind of wanted to get out a little bit. She's always longed to get out and do some adventuring, but I don't think she ever imagined something as dire or important or dangerous as what you guys are doing now. Viktor, as he's kind of listening to all your answers, is nodding his head. And he says, I long to enact revenge, if I'm being honest. And I don't know what comes after that. If I die in the process, then I die. But I would like to see some pain in that creature's face for what he's done to my family. Even if it's just one arrow, that would be enough for me. Will you all still have me on your adventure?
Yeah.
I would just like to warn you that revenge is a slippery slope, my friend. And once you have it, and if you don't feel fulfilled, I urge you to stop there no matter what.
That's sage advice. I will try my best.
Thank you.
Red hot hatred runs through my veins. But I have it directed towards something at the moment. Once we get to Jurassor, what's the plan? Are we going straight for the Trident?
I believe so, yeah. I think we obviously Jurassor is an incredibly dangerous place. Our
We
plan
gotta-
should be just get in, get out.
We gotta find it first.
Yes.
This is true. Do we have any leads?
We have some hints. You recall the letter that was addressed to you? We know that it's in
Letter,
some
yeah.
kind of cave, right? From the letter?
Hopefully there's only one cave.
Oh, I can guarantee you there's more.
Damn it.
We are going to face many creatures in Jurassor. I've never been, obviously, but I've heard. I've heard of creatures much, much larger than, say, Leon or you know, much, much larger than all of us combined. Sharp teeth and little arms, big legs. Scaly, feathery creatures. You can tell he's describing dinosaurs. He says, do you think there are people that live on Jurassor?
Probably.
I've heard tale of creatures who live on the island. And he looks over at Shisa and just kind of like pauses and looks at you for a second, raises his eyebrows and kind of like tilts his head.
Can I help you?
He like looks you up and down and kind of nods his head at you. He doesn't seem like he wants to say it.
What? Okay, it's not nice to stare at people.
I'm sorry. It's well, I've heard that there are people like you with the bottom half of a snake, top half of a humanoid.
Oh, fucking great. Well, usually people who are like me are not so pleasant, but hopefully they have a whole different culture here. I have no idea though. I've never heard of any of my kind being on any islands or anything.
It's only tales I've heard. I couldn't say if they're exactly like you or not. But Lytropius, your father, Leon, and Fergus, your father, he was always depicted as a large snake, underwater sea snake. I wonder how he, with your mother.
I'm starting to think you have a weird thing for snakes, mister.
Well, think about it. Think about it. He's a giant snake, and your mother, I assume, was a minotaur. How does that work? What's the incubation time for a demigod like you? I wonder if you're just like born immediately, like, or do you like take longer to cook than normal babies? I don't. What do you think?
I would assume it would be shorter, if anything, right?
Maybe. I don't know. The gods were locked away 100 years ago. You guys should all be 100 years old, so I'm not sure how it is you all came to be.
100? I'm not 100. There's no way.
I know. That's the curious part.
Huh. Well, I don't know how all that works, really. My parents never really taught me about how gods inseminate people and other things.
Do they? Maybe they don't.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe they, don't do it physically.
Maybe.
I just can't wrap my mind around this. It's too complicated.
Victor laughs. I don't know the answers. How could I? But I thought maybe you would know. Your parents must not have talked to you much about
Well, the only thing I really know about is music and how to conquer an entire nation. So.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that will be useful. Either one of those could be useful.
They are quite useful so far.
He kind of smiles. He looks off, kind of like a 1,000-yard stare past all of you towards the wall, and he just says, kind of looking off in the distance, he says, "On a ship with a bunch of demigods. Who would have guessed? I hope you can save us." Because I don't think anyone else can. He looks at you all. Looks down at his tiny little bow in his hand. And he says, "Yeah, I'll try my best to be useful, as I said. My bow is yours. And, what is that?" He looks over at Fergus and Leon. Fergus and Leon, as you're both standing there, your eyes begin to glow, each You start having this stinging sensation like there's chlorine in your eyes. And as you look over at each other, you can see each other's eyes are glowing this kind of bright whitish blue color. Everyone sees this. And Viktor kind of takes a step back. And as he does, you guys, what do you say? What do you do as you're seeing each other's eyes glowing? Your eyes they hurt, but they're not closing. You're not like, you don't need to close your eyes. It's just like they're like stinging really badly.
Yeah, I just kind of wipe my eyes, I guess.
Leon, what do you do? I'm not looking for a right answer. I just want to know what Leon and Fergus are, motioning, like what their physical motions are in this moment.
I think, I guess again, keeping consistent with like Leon's overall demeanor, I think he just remains kind of like at a standstill almost.
You start hearing, both of you, you start hearing like these voices in your head. And as you start hearing those voices, looking at each other, a small like group of water droplets start to appear between the two of you. And you start hearing these whispers back and forth between your heads. You start hearing your own voices to each other. And you now have a telepathic connection between the two. I think I've told you that your powers will evolve as you guys level up. So this specific godly power, being able to just talk to animals and breathe underwater, it's not very strong. But like I said, your guys' specific powers level up. Your godly powers get better as you get stronger. This is a new ability that you have. And along with that, the water droplets are kind of dancing in front of both of you. And as they do, your voices kind of hearing each other like, what's going on? Like, hello, what? You kind of hear these back and forth to each other. And then you hear a third voice interrupt both of you.
My sons.
You have never heard this voice before, but it echoes in your head.
I can feel you close to me. My sons, can you hear me?
I guess I'd try and talk back. And hello?
Fergus! Fergus, my boy! Fergus! Leon, are you there? Leon!
Yeah, what's poppin'? I mean, fuck, that's not a character. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Fergus! Leon, it's me. It's your father. I can feel you're coming to get me. I knew you'd come to get me. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I can tell you're getting strong. Both of you. I can feel it. You're strong. Oh, yes. Look at those water droplets between the two of you. Look at them. You can see them, right?
You say anything? You do. You can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see them.
This is all the power I have for now. But I can help you. Both of you. If you concentrate on those water droplets, you can form them into a creature. A sea creature. Whatever sea creature you want. And it will follow you. A spirit. Me. I can be there with you. For a limited amount of time.
He's telling you both to decide on a sea creature to have these water droplets form into. You're going to create a spirit that's going to follow you around. So both of you decide together what kind of sea creature. It'll float on, like it doesn't need to be underwater. It'll float kind of near you. and it'll be a creature that you can communicate a little bit with your dad back and forth. Not a lot, but you can communicate a little bit, and it'll do some combat stuff for you.
I think we get an octopus.
Yeah, it's a good callback to what happened today.
Yeah.
An octopus, okay. Yes, good choice. Good choice.
As he says that, the water droplets form into the shape of a medium-sized octopus. It's a little bit smaller than Fergus, that is now floating beside you, between you. And it puts its 8 tentacles up in the air, and you hear from the octopus now.
All right, my boys.
And it starts kind of wiggling around, and that's where we're going to end it for today.
There you go.
Fire. Our dad is so sick.
Mhm.